Welcome into another edition of the Hops and Spirits podcast. We're in Summer School 2021, and I can't wait to share this episode with you. But before we get to these fun ladies, remember to check out all of our past episodes, like Building Innovative Brands with Slow Brews folks, How to Start a Whiskey Collection with My Daily Bourbons, Chad Watson, Summer Beers and Summer Cocktails with Kevin Patterson and Jake Sullick, Greens and Their Impact on Whiskey with Middle West Spirits, Ryan Lang, and Making Tequila or Agave Spirits in the U.S. with Jeff Evans of Mean Mule Distilling Co. And, of course, we're going to finish it all off here in just a second. Remember, you can find all of this information on all of our social media channels at Hop Spirits, all one word, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also get us on our website, hopspirits.com, all one word, hopspirits.com. There you can do all sorts of fun things. And remember, follow us on all of our social media because every Monday night we do a Give It a Try highlight. And then on Fridays we shake things up with a cocktail quickie. So you don't want to miss any of those. And you know what? I don't want to wait any longer for this episode. So let's get into it. Joining us now on the Hops and Spirits podcast are two funny ladies who I can already tell this is going to be a blast of an interview. We have Connor Query, artist, graphic designer, and Carrie Johnson, trash crafter extraordinaire. Ladies, welcome in.
Hi. Hi. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, you all are part of our Summer School 2021 series. We're learning things. Now, you guys both do a lot of creative things, although somewhat different at times and so forth. But we like to start off all of these with one tough question because, what better way to start things off with than, making you guys sweat a little bit. Since it's school... did you all ever take kind of a quote-unquote easy class just to get a good grade? That so-called underwater basket weaving type class?
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
I feel like maybe it wasn't super easy, but it was probably the most fun class that I took. Was actually the very last class that I took was History of Rock. And it went through all, just from early 1900s to today, from Motown and Beatles and all that stuff. So that was super fun, and that was the only semester that I got straight A's. So yes,
that's amazing.
Yes,
yeah, mine was Entomology 101. So I took a class about bugs. It was amazing, and they literally passed around pubic lice in a petri dish.
Oh,
it was alive.
And that was your easy class? That's what you considered your easy class?
Yeah, it was awesome.
We have two different versions of easy.
The reason I put this on here too was because I think of my easy class, especially in college. I could also go back to middle school and high school when I was a quote unquote teacher's assistant at times, which that wasn't very difficult in middle school or high school. But I took team sports and individual sports in college, and then also audio podcasting and video podcasting, which I got straight A's those semesters as well.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I took a volleyball class. I play volleyball, and I forgot that I took a volleyball class. That was a fun class. I forgot about that. I have still friends with tons of those people. I forgot about that. There you go.
And nothing wrong with that. Well, I was a communications major, and it was an upper level class. It wasn't really that difficult, but I enjoyed it. All right, so now to actually get into the show, even though kind of what you guys do goes along with school and being fun and stuff like that. For both of you, you guys do creative stuff. Were you always creative, or did this come later in life?
I was definitely always creative. I think my first true memory of creativity or artsy stuff was I went to Cassidy Elementary, and I guess Fayette County did these calendar, they probably still do it. You could be in the calendar and your art was judged, which is terrifying, actually. As a child. And all your stuff was judged, but I don't know, I entered in that every chance that I could. But the only time I could ever get in anything was the yearbook, so I guess whatever. My little black cat watercolor was the first thing printed somewhere. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, so from there, I was doing a bunch of art, but I got into sports and stuff.
Gross.
So I kind of, right. Softball and volleyball, but it was fun. We were fine with that. But I didn't get super serious about it until maybe like senior year of high school, and then senior year of high school, and then college went in as an art studio double major, art education major. So there's that.
Dang, well, you're much cooler than me. Yeah, according to my mom, I've always been creative as well. I was even always like upcycling her presents, even when I was a child. I still remember I took this heart gem thing I had on my favorite pencil, and I turned it into a necklace for her, and
Aww.
she still has it.
But
yeah, art was always my favorite class. I took one art class in college,
which one?
but I don't know, just like art one, drawing
like
one,
2D
or
something.
No, it was just drawing.
The drawing classes were hard.
I
thought they were hard.
Drawing. I got to draw naked people, so it was amazing.
See, I didn't do that. I did not take that class. No, I'm good on that. I would just be so distracted. Sorry, I can't do it.
It was actually shockingly not distracting. But yeah, I mean, I took as many art and like film classes and stuff as I could, even though I was a science major because my degree was in biology. But they do say that science people are usually very artistic and creative because you have to be creative to solve science problems. So yeah. But yeah, and I've always been like walking around the neighborhood picking up trash as well.
Wait, that makes perfect sense because I was so good at organic chemistry in high school.
Yeah,
I was the only.
All those structures.
I was the only one who would make 100 plus on everything organic chemistry.
Let's cheers to that.
Cheers to that, baby girl. Woo.
Well, and you, Connor, you got a double major now. Carrie, you're going. You're still in grad school, correct?
I dropped out real quick. I was not. I'm not a teacher.
We're so proud of you.
I'm not a teacher. I can't teach. I do classes, but that's as far as I went.
So you do small groups, and older folks, I'm guessing as well.
Yes. Sorry, PhD. That's more important. Go to her. Go to her.
But Carrie, you're in grad school. What are you doing there?
Yeah. So currently, I go to UK, and I joined the Integrated Biomedical Sciences program. So I'm getting my PhD in biochemistry, and I'll be doing Alzheimer's research related to sleep.
That is really cool. And you know, when you were talking earlier about science and being creative, talking to a lot of folks in the distilling world, brewing world, they are very creative too. They are artists in their own form. So I totally agree with that and kind of love that thought. Now going just to Connor for this question. You do a little bit of everything with what you do for work. Can you talk about all of your work?
All of my work. Oh my goodness.
Or at least, just the highlights that you want to talk about.
Yeah, it's going to have to be highlights because I get asked to do so many crazy things. I mean, I do... The main thing that I started out with was pet portraits, of course. And that kind of sparked the custom painting craft situation that is now my full-time job. And then I also did freelance graphic design. Graphic design was like my full-time job that I kind of came out of college with because I just assumed there's no way I'll ever be a full-time artist, just sitting at home painting all day. And that's what I do now. So that's cool. But, so I still have the connections and people, word of mouth transferring the graphic design situation. And then I also started doing a bunch of like murals and I don't know. I mean, of course, I'm involved in the brewery.
How many
cidery.
breweries do you work with?
Like all of them.
Okay.
I work for like
She's
every
so popular.
brewery in Lexington except for like Country Boy and Wessex, and
We're in the presence
I
of a
think that's it.
celebrity.
just the corporate ones. But I mean, I just don't really know them that well. That's okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I do everything. I'm everywhere.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, Carrie, you do a lot of upcycling. I mean, you all are creative. You even have a kind of a nice team that helps you out from time to time as well. What all do you guys make, and but how does that go for you all?
So I guess let me tell you about my team first, real quick. It's mostly me, and then I can sometimes con my roommate / BFF of 15 years, Hope, into heavy lifting, transporting of my goods, building my displays, teaching me how to use scary saws, that kind of stuff. Yeah, she puts together all my tools as well. Poor Hope. She's building me
that's
shelves
my dad
in the
for me
basement right now. And then I recently hired an intern. Her name's Sam Hart, and I call her yeah, she's in my class. I call her my nerdette is her official title, or nerd in training.
I like it.
Gosh, what was the other part of the question?
What do you all make?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So mostly I make soy candles. So I make them out of anything from bourbon bottles to beer cans to beer bottles. Pretty much any recycled glass jar. So yogurt jars, pickle jars, peanut butter jars, really anything. So that's my main thing, is scented soy candles. I make all the candles for Pivot, so I use their fun cans.
One that I made too.
Yeah, that's how we met, actually. Okay. Is because she did a logo or a label for Pivot.
You know, and the Loki one. Is that
the pug on it? Mm-hmm. And so I also do planters. So same thing as the candles, cut the tops off, make planters. I make lamps, hanging lights, table runners, and then some people request like custom decorative centerpieces and stuff like that out of wine bottles, so I can put little lights inside of them, custom labels. I also do all the Jake Cigar Bar custom candles, with their logo and stuff. So
I guess the one thing I think for both of y'all, did you ever imagine that you'd be working kind of in this adult beverage world, or for that you guys would be so involved in this?
I always imagined I'd be a customer.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about the fact that I kind of work in the adult beverage world.
I know.
Until you asked that question. I was like, wow, I guess I kind of do. Like, my basement is full of liquor bottles. Oh.
It's definitely something I had to think of when I was doing. I tried to hire or fake hire, whatever, a bunch of EBCE like high school students to be my interns, and most of what I do, like, you have to be 21 and like you can't come to the brewery and like hold a beer for me while I take a picture of it and all that stuff. So it's definitely challenging in that sense, but just starting out, I mean, when I first got into this, it was just an old manager that I worked with who was opening Mirror Twin, and he was just like, hey, will you just come do the board real quick? Like, I just thought it was going to be a one-time situation, and that kind of sparked. I know. Sweet memes.
I mean, I got started because someone said, hey, I saw this on Pinterest. Can you make this? Oh! And I was like, cool, okay. Boom. And then they're like, you should make a shop. And I was like, yeah, right. And then I did, and now I make.
That's how my pet portrait started. Yeah. Someone just asked me for pictures of their pets for Christmas. She was going to gift it to her boyfriend.
So yeah, short answer to your question, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't know. Sorry, we're like ranting now.
No, I love that though, and too, that's kind of how y'all ended up meeting, right? I mean, because y'all were doing different things.
Oh.
So now. Now, this is for Connor, because I'd like to go back and forth. But, Connor, you kind of touched on this. You do a lot of work for a lot of the breweries in the Lexington area. what goes into kind of designing cans or labels? Now, obviously, I'm guessing whoever you're working for has a lot of input, but what goes into it? Because I know some are very sleek, and others are a little more on the creative side, and probably give you a little more freedom.
Well, yeah. For Mirror Twin, I'm not the designer for the majority of that. I've made maybe 3 labels just because I was connected to them in some way, maybe. I don't know. But those ones are definitely, they get very creative with their titles and their meanings and all that stuff. So that's always kind of yeah. Oh yeah, we're drinking some Mirror Twin beers right now. Nate Blankenship is the designer for all of this stuff. And he's amazing, so that's good. He can keep doing that. But when it comes to like, fusion or pivot, I mean, it's definitely, I go by what, they are wanting for their theme, vibe.
How many drafts do you do, like, on average?
Most of the time, I just give a page of, like,
Variations?
4 or 5 options.
Oh.
I try and keep it super limited because if you start throwing out too many ideas for people, then they start thinking of more and more, like the editing process just keeps going on and you never get to a final thought. So sometimes you just kind of like take out the options for them so they don't choose it if it's like a really bad idea or something. I don't know. I mean, sometimes they have an idea that's really not that great, but when you put it on paper and have them see it, they're like, okay, yeah, it's not that great. So, I don't know. Sometimes I just delete those and be like, hey, I actually tried this instead. It's a lot better than what you thought.
It happens. It happens.
It happens.
Now you also... Now you also do the board art for Mirror Twin a lot of. Now, how does that process work? Do they kind of give you free reign on that, or are you kind of taking maybe the can art or something like that and putting your spin on it?
If it's a can release, I try and just copy the can as much as I can. That's cute.
Cute pun.
But just because so they can see the tap and then find it in the fridge. I try and do it as best as possible, but. If it's just like a Mirror Monday beer, I just go based off what the title is, or if it's from a show or something, I'll try and find a font from that show, or I mostly just look up the fonts online to font.com and just see what speaks to me that day. But I love everyone at Mirror Twin, but they do it on purpose to make these long names so that I can't fit them.
They do. I love
They
that.
do it on purpose. They actually made a lemon meringue something. I'm sure Mike will see this and make fun of me for this, but they did a knock knock joke that was 3 lines long.
For the name of a
It
beer?
was a knock knock joke. And I had to write it. There was no making it look good. It was just all caps, just 3 lines in that tiny little space. And I was like, you all, what are you doing? But it was fine.
And do you do freehand or do you kind of sketch it out before you go? How does that process?
I just find it on my screen and I just look at it and just go at it.
Dang.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that. Unless you just wanted like chicken scratch and like doctor's handwriting, that would be me on the board.
Yeah, that happens when I'm not there. Sorry, love you all.
Hey, that's why they bring you in to make everything look good. Now, Carrie, how do you go about picking the bottles or materials that you use for your work? Do you just have wonderful people that just drop you off a bunch of stuff, or are you enjoying a few of these as you go too?
Yeah. So when I started, I was just like texting everyone on my phone saying, hey, do you have wine bottles? So I only started with wine bottles because I was just decorating them for people and making tiki torches. And then I started collecting bourbon bottles because I like to keep a lot of my stuff Kentucky themed and like as local as possible. So once people knew that I was doing this, every one of my friends and some bartenders that I know and some that I don't even know they will continually
Yeah.
drop off boxes of bottles for me at my house all the time. And I've met just a lot of people at the booths that I set up at different places, and they get really, really excited about the chance to upcycle their garbage. So they're like, how can I get my bottles to you? And so I set up a drop-off station outside of my house. So I have just repeat people that are bringing boxes like weekly. And especially like after holidays and stuff, family functions, I get so many bottles. So yeah, now I have a garage full, like floor to ceiling on half of the side of bottles that are all organized and alphabetized.
I was a part of that last Christmas.
Yep. And then I have finished goods in my basement now. So.
Well, I was gonna say I saw on your social media, are you having to expand the wall a little bit because you're running out of space?
So my roommate is helping me build a shop in my basement. So we are expanding the shelving, making it twice as big, and then we're building shelves on the side, and she's curtaining it off so she doesn't ever have to look at my garbage. She really is. That's what she's doing. She's like, I feel better already because it's half curtained. So yeah, I'll have a table down there so I can meet with people about designing their stuff, and yeah, my friends and stuff come over and shop on the shelves all the time. It's kind of funny. So I'm like, yeah, come to my basement. Like, whatever. It's like, I swear I'm not going to murder you down there.
It's like a creepy
There's just garbage, but in a non-hoarder way.
Yeah, there you go.
And a non-alcoholic way. I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, everyone's favorite comment is, oh, did you drink these all yourself? It's like the only dad joke I get constantly, and I'm like, yes, I did. Thank you for asking.
That's the same as, well, I'm beer tending now at Mirror Twin, and when dads say, oh, you didn't need to ID me too? I hate that. Like, okay.
We haven't heard that before.
It happens. It happens. I also like to tell bad dad jokes, but I won't tell any right now because I don't want to embarrass myself.
I mean, we like bad dad jokes.
I enjoy that.
When you hear the same one repeatedly,
not like setting. Different setting, different time, different place.
I will say the one thing that makes me sad is now that, if they look at my ID, it says 1990, 1980 something, and once they see the 19, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, right. 87.
Yeah.
How are you?
93.
Aw.
I'm 27.
Oh, baby.
Now, another one for you, Carrie, because you do a lot of different things. Whether it's making candles, you also get to cut bottles, things like that. And you also do some woodwork. What's your favorite thing that you get to create, or do you just like using tools and having fun there?
So actually every tool that I use scares the shit out of me. Cutting bottles is literally terrifying. I use a 7-inch tile saw and a 10-inch tile saw with a diamond blade, and the 10-inch one it's horrifying. Because to keep the bottles from like cracking, you have to keep your hands like pretty close to the blade, which luckily diamond blades, you're not going to like cut your finger off because they're smooth and they don't like to cut soft things. They like to cut hard things. Anyways, it is terrifying. But my favorite thing to make is lamps, because I think almost every single lamp I've made is literally one of a kind. I typically have people bring me bottles of alcohol that they drank themselves that they want to turn into like a decoration for their house, and they almost always pick a lamp. So I see like a lot of bottles I've never seen before that way, and then I let them choose from the millions of cigar boxes I have in my workshop. Boxes? So I have
books. Did you do books?
I'm actually going to start using books as lamp bases. I've started collecting old like leather bound vintage books. I've only got 2 so far, so I haven't made one yet. But yeah, so I have cigar boxes, and those I can almost never find the same one twice, which is very strange. And I go to like all the liquor stores and buy their empty cigar boxes. But then I also use wood scraps from a bunch of woodworkers that I know, and some of it is even like locally fallen wood, which is really cool. So that's my favorite thing to make them out of. And I've also gotten like reclaimed wood, so a lot of wood from actual Kentucky horse farm fencing.
Ooh.
So that's my favorite. I make a Woodford derby lamp, and I always use that reclaimed fencing. People are super obsessed with it, but yeah, so I let them pick like their stain, their finish, like how many things they want stacked. I don't know. They're always my favorite. They always turn out really cool, and every one I like end up wanting to keep, and I'm like, man. I've only kept
when I see your stories of everything listed, I'm like,
this is my favorite one. And then the next one, I'm like, nope, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I get really excited when people ask me to make a lamp because they always end up looking really cool.
That's me with wood burns, like wood burn portraits. I'm like, oh, this is really good though.
Yeah.
This looks good.
Wood stuff is fun. I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning, so.
Well, and Connor, for you, what's your favorite thing that you get to do?
If
If you don't say painting my dog specifically.
I have never painted your dog yet.
Yeah.
Well, on a little ornament.
Yeah.
A little baby. Well, I think, I guess what I enjoy doing that like puts me in like a Zen mode is the wood burning. Just because it just always turns out, I mean, it's so I but the final product is just like,
I love watching your videos.
It just always looks so good. And I amaze myself every time I do one. And thank you.
She's going to teach me how to do it.
I like to, I mean, I will. I like to make the video, like the time-lapse videos. Every time I post something, someone responds and they're like, thank you for posting this. I just like needed to watch this today. It's super relaxing in that sense, but it's also relaxing for me when I need to just kind of like shut off everything, and just burn, because you can't pay attention to anything else when you're doing that. If you make a mistake, it's there forever. It's not like painting, and you might just
like burn your hand off, so that's cool.
I've never done that before.
So you guys aren't doing anything dangerous at all, not using
no
large blades.
Yeah,
I wear a mask sometimes.
Now, I guess this could be for both of you, but I specifically think of Carrie for this, because you go out and you're collecting trash. You literally have shirts that ask me about my trash. Trash crafts. I mean, is that weird to just be kind of going places and looking for random things, or have you just gotten used to that now?
Yeah. So when I've been out at bars and I like see a bartender empty like a Blanton's or something, I'm like, yo, can I have that? Some people look at me so weird and act like it's so illegal for me to take a piece of garbage they're throwing in the garbage can. It's so strange. Well, and then I found out afterwards that like people will take the empty bottles and like fill it with not what it is and like sell it for $1 million. So some places won't give it to you unless they've broken the neck of the bottle.
Bootleg.
Yeah, if it's like really expensive, which like me as a nice person, I've literally never thought about cheating someone like that. So I'm just like, wait, what? People do that?
People are terrible. What?
But yeah, I mean, just speaking of picking up literal garbage, I've posted a few trash pickups too, like around like our neighborhood and stuff like that. Just because I like to do that.
On the river.
Yeah, and people, look at you weird when you're picking up garbage as well. I guess, I don't know.
Because cleaning the earth is weird, I suppose.
Yeah, but now I have this is the nerdiest thing I'll say all day. I got a rock tumbler so that I could put my broken glass in there and like smooth it out and make it into like synthetic sea glass.
That's like
so I can use it.
Super cool though.
It is. I actually have some. I can show you before you leave.
Okay.
But yeah, people love like giving me literally any glass item they find. So when they give me a lot of it, I try to find a purpose for it. And people give me a lot of stuff that they've found in like lakes or creeks, and it's like so like,
unique,
dirty and stuff. Like
unique,
I can't do anything, and it might be like fragile as well.
Right.
So it's like I had to find something else to do with it. So now I'm making sea glass / also sand.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Hey, that's continuing the upcycle, just finding different uses for it. For Connor, do you use any reclaimed things or recycled things, or what do you kind of do some of your wood burning and portraits on?
I have yet to. I don't think I have used anything like. I
You're
mean,
gonna with our next code.
oh, here we go. I get all my wood from Walnut Hollow, so I guess, well, not in a way. I mean, they cut it and I buy it, so.
Hey, you can have some of mine.
But yeah, I can
I have
do
a lot.
that. But I do get a lot of questions from people about, just random custom pieces where they ask me if I can do this and that on this and that.
On something they already have.
Yeah, and I'm all for it, but I have yet to have someone jump on it and actually tell me they want to go for it and do it. But I think here in the future we'll have a little reclaim wood situation with us.
Hashtag
Collab number 2.
Well, that's a perfect segue into my next question, because you all have teamed up on giveaways before and kind of did a little bit of collaboration. What was that like, and do you have any more in store, which it sounds like you might, and you don't have to give details yet, but what was that like working together?
Yeah, people loved the candle, and we had people outside of the giveaway message and ask if they could actually order it. So we're actually turning it into an actual product that you can order from Connor's website, where I obviously make the candles. So the candle's made from a We by Yoplait yogurt jar. Because they're the only glass yogurt you can buy. Well, there's a few, but anyways, those are the ones I get. So I'll make the candle. There will be a few different scent choices, and then you'll be able to send Connor your pet portrait for her to paint.
Yep.
So, and then we are going to have another one coming soon with some, it will involve some wood burning.
Wood burning.
On some upcycled or reclaimed
what it
wood
is,
pieces.
we don't know. Or
We know.
We
but
know what it is.
we're just leaving a teaser for our
it.
fans, right? Because we're
Right.
very popular.
We're super popular.
I just, since it's a podcast, I'm just going to tell the listeners that I was shaking my head because that was a joke. We're not popular.
Y'all are more popular than you think. I'm sure. I guess here's my next question: do you ever have anyone that comes up to you that's seen you on social media or anything like that and go, "Are you the person from such and such?"
Yes. I actually, I'm sorry, it's so
I love
weird.
this. I love this so much.
I have so many people come up to me. Actually, here's a funny story from last Wednesday. Trivia is at Mirror Twin on Wednesdays, and the parking situation right now is a little messy.
Yeah.
And so there were an entire row of cars blocked in, and someone came up to the bartenders and they were like, "Hey, I'm blocked in. I'm trying to leave before trivia even started." And I just walked up to grab a beer really fast, and they were like, "Hey, Connor, can you deal with this?" I was like, "What? Okay, I don't know what am I supposed to do about this?" So I walk out with him and look at the car situation. He's like, "Hey, you're Connor Queer Art, right?" Connor, and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, I follow you. I'm yada yada," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Did you charge them for an autograph?
No.
Selfie?
No. But
opportunity.
when I did start working at Mirror Twin, bartending at Mirror Twin, I would post, on my story or something goofy on Facebook or something like that, and just say "Hey, come in. I'm working. I'm bored. Come say hi." And a bunch of people did come in and were like, "Hey, I saw that you posted on your story. I follow you on Instagram." And someone brought their dog to me. Someone brought their puppy to me. They're like, "Oh my god, I saw you were bartending. Here's my puppy."
To me and Connor, that's the greatest compliment
I was
anyone
like,
could literally ever
you
give
all,
us.
you all have to finish bartending right now. Someone brought me their puppy. It was a great night.
See, I don't get that. I just get my classmates telling me I'm a celebrity when they see that, like, I have a candle at Pivot. And I'm like, I don't know how that qualifies me as a celeb, but okay.
Yeah, that's still cool AF. I feel like I can't cuss on here.
I really aspire to be as cool as Connor is really...
okay, I'm
she's an
super
influencer.
dorky. This is, like, the most video action I'll ever have in, like, the next 5 years.
Well, you both are doing great.
He's going to ask us to be a return guest.
It could happen. It could
happen.
happen.
We should do that. We should be a celebrity. We're the celebrity guests.
Yeah,
that's basically what you just said.
I mean, you're on the podcast as the guest, so you are the stars. It's not me. It's you all.
I mean, that makes sense.
Now, my final question for you all is: you all do a lot of cool stuff. If someone's thinking about jumping into getting into the creative side, kind of maybe a side hustle, what do you have to say to them? Because I'm guessing that you all had someone that kind of maybe pushed you into that, or just had that first, someone asked you to make something and then it snowballed from there. But what do you say to someone that kind of maybe wants to get into something like this and have a little bit of fun?
Just effing do it.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I'm about to hit my 3-year anniversary of full-time artistdom in October.
3-year anniversary of Nerd Bears. In October.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Shut up! It's my birthday.
So
I quit my full-time job. Remember?
When's your birthday?
October 16th.
Mine's October 9th. Okay.
So a week apart. It was meant to be. Your friendship was meant to be.
It really was. But yeah, no, she's right. You really just have to do it. And
I was terrified.
The hardest part is like actually sticking with it. And like putting yourself out there. Like, I can't speak for you, but I'm a giant introvert. So even like having to set up a booth somewhere, you should have seen the level of panic that ensued, like my first one. So it's really important that you have some people that will go with you and help you spread the word.
Not
and
so
just
much have a team, just at least have like
much support.
Like support in areas like maybe you're freaking out on something, but like have someone to like.
And you really only need a few people. And I mean, like, I know I do this all the time. I question if my stuff is actually like,
good
is what I make even quality or good? Why do people even want to buy this? But then like every day I get more and more customers and I'm like, okay, well, I guess my stuff is fine. And like, it gets
there
hard.
There are people in the world selling potatoes in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, you can do this. Poop in the mail. You
can send a confetti bomb of dicks to someone.
Yeah, so I don't know. Really, you just have to go for it because I mean, nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yeah, so I think. Well, the main thing is that I mean, I already have this anyways, just because maybe it's anxiety, but just having the drive to get things done, like just you have it in your head that the way that you're making money, the way that you have a roof over your head, the way that you're caring for your dog if you're working your ass off. Did you hate your
full-time job so much that you did this? Because that's what I did.
Yes, it was terrible.
So like also like hatred of something I think is a huge driver, like just really wanting to
I was coding emails. Like actually typing out codes to emails and making like $14 an hour. It was so bad.
But yeah, no, I mean, when you're into what you're doing, people can tell. And I think that like really makes them respond to what you're doing. Like everybody knows that I'm literally obsessed with garbage and everybody knows you're obsessed with dogs.
Dogs? So. They bring their dogs to me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's worse things that can be brought to you.
Right.
Really, just go for it, and you really have to stick with it. You can't just like halfway.
No, you gotta
commit. It doesn't work.
All the way in.
I say that as I'm in school, like I run a business.
It's terrible. Okay, but no.
I'm so tired.
I was gonna say you've got to hustle and you're multitasking and y'all are doing some great things. And where can people find your work?
Well,
What do you want to go first? You want me
do
to
we
go
need
first?
to like spell it out? I don't.
Yes.
Okay, so I probably have less places than you, so I'll go first.
Okay.
So you can
Why
find
not?
Nerd Babes Co. items at As You Go Boutique on Euclid, at Pivot Brewing, at Jake's Cigar Bar, at Completely Kentucky in Frankfurt, Local Connection at the Bluegrass Stockyards. Oh my god, I think I'm forgetting one.
Oh no.
You go now, so I'll think about it.
Okay. Well, I'm not in any stores right now. I don't think I don't think I am. But I have a website. You can order anything custom and some originals, already made stuff, on www.connorqueryart.com. And then I think you can shop on my Instagram. I think it just takes you to my website anyways, but my Instagram, you have that listed, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
CM Query Art.
Yep. You will be tagged.
Yeah. I also have an Etsy shop. I guess that's, kind of a thing.
That's
that
kind
I
of a
should have
big
pointed
deal.
out. Yes, I have an Etsy shop. So if you just type in Nerd Babes Co. in the Etsy search bar, you'll see my stuff. And then I also let people just DM me and pay through PayPal to purchase stuff from Instagram.
Pretty much everyone
And
just
then-
messages.
Yeah, and then just like wherever I
Then we
pop up
direct,
at
yeah.
local craft fairs, because neither of us have a storefront.
Right. I dodged the market scene this past year. I'm still kind of dodging it.
Yeah, I only
Just
did
'cause
one
I'm not
because it was
sure.
outside.
I think I will be at Woodland Art Fair and the Daniel Boone Festival. I think it's
Nice.
in September. So I don't know.
Well, that is awesome, and for anyone that's listening or watching, they are tagged on our social media, so you can find them there as well. Carrie, Connor, I appreciate this. This was a blast. I think I was smiling and laughing the whole time.
We're a fun little couple.
Because we're so awkward.
We're so weird.
Just as long as no one tags me as nerd babies, which many people tend to do. It's nerd babes, because I'm
Oh
a
my god.
adult
I didn't know
woman.
that.
Yeah.
I'm an adult woman.
I don't sell clothes for babies.
Oh, that was such a blast. I love chatting with Connor and Carrie. They just do such amazing things, and you never know what you're going to get into and where your life might take you. And they're getting creative in the alcohol industry, doing some unique things. And it's just neat to hear, how some of these boards are made for breweries, the graphic designs for cans, and then even what happens once these things are used. Once we enjoy those beverages, what can become of it. So like I said, a really fun episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed Summer School 2021. It's been a blast for me. And don't forget, next week's episode might be what I dub extra credit as we talk alcohol laws with Jared D.T. Airley from drinksreform.org. He's the editor. He's a policy guy in the alcohol world. So that's another fun one. You won't want to miss that one. Remember, check us out on all of our social media at Hop Spirits, all one word, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Like I said, we drop new pours of on Monday nights with our Give It a Try highlights, and we shake things up every Friday with our cocktail quickie. And if you want to keep up with everything, click the link in any of our bios. It'll take you right there. Remember, if you can, give us a 5-star review, leave us a comment on your favorite podcast player, and give us a subscribe on our YouTube page as well, where you can see all of these in video form. If you're listening, you can see these on our Facebook and YouTube pages and see what some of the folks are talking about as we do get the chance to showcase some of the products on this show. And like I said, I can't thank you all enough. And until next time, cheers, everyone.